Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Rule Waves 3 as Japan. So, we are 18 months into I believe it's our third war against Russia. The war is kind of a waste of time in my opinion, it really is. We'll probably try to peace out if we get a decent opportunity to do so because I don't really care for it. It's not a useful war. We get nothing out of it outside of war reps. It could certainly be going better. Part of our issue is that the Russians have more CVLs, and it's mostly because of the CVLs, really, that exist in Northeast Asia compared to us, and so they've had the ability to have their CVLs on cruiser operations and things like that. And our light cruisers, a lot of them are old. We haven't really had an opportunity to try to build up a new fleet of them. We're working on that now with the Itsukushima. I think that's right, yeah. But yeah, so we're working on that, but those are still 21 months out. And we queued those up like at the end of last part, so it's not like those have been in the works for a little while at all. Those are literally a, oh yeah, we should probably build those type thing. So, yeah. Oh god, this war's going, and it's annoying, it really is. We're gonna go ahead and I think kick up some of our spying on some of our neighbors. Just, you know, to get a little bit of intel on them, because I looked through our aircraft intelligence, and it's probably best to say that we don't really have sufficient intel on the existing air capabilities of most of our rival nations. About the only person who really it doesn't matter is China, because China is still using a 1917 fighter. If I recall correctly, China's not able to build and research their own aircraft in this game. They straight up cannot do it. They have to buy leases from other countries, which of course means they have to have the money to be able to do that. And they kind of struggle to have the money to do that. So they have a 1917 fighter, so it's probably a very, very crappy monoplane. Hell, it could even still be a biplane. Well, actually, no, it's 1917, so it's probably a biplane. They're flying around in a fucking IL, or not an IL, what is it, an I-15 or something, basically. I don't know who the hell they got that design from, but whoever they got it from, yeah, they're still flying around with that. And I don't think they have anything else. Oh no, they have a floatplane scout from 1932, so they do have something newer there at least. They actually have a medium bomber. I think it's ours. I recall we sold them one of our designs a while back, but I don't really recall if it was the medium bomber or something else. But, yeah. Also, realistically, let's see. The reality is, we got some really good reliability on our stuff. Holy crap. I never really noticed how good the reliability is on our aircraft. I mean, some of them could be better, of course, you know. Most of them are average. We got two that are good. But, I mean, average is actually pretty good, realistically. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and continue on with this and, you know, try to end this war as soon as possible. Enemy coastal raid. Sure. They say no. Cruiser action. Sure. They say no. Battleship engagement. They say no. Another battleship engagement. They still say no. Two new submarines, 6 ships finished working up, more corvettes commissioned. The US government is offering to sell us better 8-inch guns. You know what? It makes it so it's not something we're wasting our time researching. We'll buy it. We need good guns, and this seems like a reasonable price. We don't use 8-inch guns. But again, it just gets it out of our research queue, basically. Built-in foam extinguisher systems, wonderful. One of our submarines sunk a Russian corvette. A Russian armored merchant carrier sunk one of our submarines. A Russian destroyer sunk one of our submarines. Another Russian armored merchant carrier sunk another submarine. And in exchange, we sink another corvette. And our patrol aircraft sunk a submarine. Wonderful. We estimate that they have 16 submarines operational. They sunk one merchant of ours. We have 59 and we sunk 16 merchants. I feel like that's not that great of a ratio. Well, actually, I guess technically it's actually pretty good. Yeah, we don't have any raiders running around, so yeah, they're getting some VP off of that. But of course, as soon as we go back to prize rules, trade disruptions from raiders and submarine sinkings are causing hardship and food shortages in Russia. And Italy continues to do Italy's thing, which is basically nothing except somehow will into existence free VP. I mean, I guess technically they're not willing it into existence, but because technically they're doing stuff in the Mediterranean. I don't know what, because the Russians don't have a fleet there at all. Well, they got a destroyer and some corvettes, so minor correction. They have a destroyer and some corvettes in the Mediterranean. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And I don't know why Italy's not invading Tunisia. They should be. They absolutely should be invading Tunisia, but they're not. I think their plan is just probably try to take it as a part of the peace deal, assuming that we get territory. And I feel like that is a fairly big if. Coastal shipping, I'll say no. Cruiser action, I will say yes to. I love cruiser actions. Don't really care for enemy raid on coastal shipping. It's kind of annoying. Oh, this is a big one. So we have the Tsugarus, which are always nice to have available. We got the Sumas. Well, is it just the one Suma? I think it is. Yeah, it's just the one Suma. It's got a, Wait, what? Oh, what? Oh, never mind. The Suma's that weird one that has, yeah, a bunch of wing turrets. I was looking at him like, why do you have more guns? Oh, I forgot to adjust our scout pattern. We don't really need to scout out 300, do like 200, and honestly, even 200 is probably cutting it. Yes, please do a 2-phase search. I don't think we need to search that far to the north or to the south, realistically. We can probably do like, yeah, we'll do a 240 to 310. Distance of 200. Okay, and these guys are all considered part of the main force, and we have already spotted something. Wonderful. Let's get in there ASAP. You guys go to line ahead. Oh, yep, you're being slowed down by the Asau back here. The reality is the Asau is a bit overkill, but it might be something that at some point I just say, how about you just be a raider? Because you're not really great at the whole fighting an actual battle thing. You kind of lack the capabilities. Oh, shit. Russian dreadnought. Well, I would gladly sink that if we get the opportunity. Thank you very much. Auto strike on the Murmansk. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Well, actually, I don't know if it is the Murmansk, but it is a Murmansk class, which is good enough for me. Yep, go ahead and ready that strike. We don't have any... Yeah, the armored cruisers are the biggest thing we got for sinking a dreadnought, which is not the greatest. At the end of the day, so we're gonna sort of try to stay out of their guns as much as possible, which, I mean, with 16-inch guns, you can only do so much, but if we can get our aircraft to launch quickly enough... I think it's... Yep, there we go. That should be all of it. Select all that are ready. Again, we're going for the Murmansk up here. Prioritize BBs. I've honestly never really figured out exactly what that button means. Player can confirm target location when strike is spotted only if launched from unready state. Can you launch from an unready state? Can you? Don't know. Either way, do we want to coordinated strike this or no? I'm gonna say no. Let's not. Just launch. I want to get up there, get in their face as quickly as possible, and try to sink them. Oh shit, the Azuma took a 16-inch hit, disabling one of its turrets. That's always fun. Oh, they're turning in on us. Okay. Well, that might make our job just a tad bit easier. Luckily, we have a couple of batteries over here, although they're not great. They're 6-inch batteries, so they're not going to do a great job at trying to pen a dreadnought. But it's something. You know what? Yeah, how about you guys go and try to do a fleet attack, huh? Yeah, the Azuma's breaking off. The Azuma's gonna try to make it to port. Way down here. You guys pop smoke, head over here. Masao, try to turn off. Isanami, detach and see if maybe you can make it to port. anybody do anything? Bomb hit on a destroyer. That looks to have been it, literally. Sao ain't feeling too hot. Yep, the Asawa's sunk. Okay, Kazi, I need you to turn. There we go. Those hit. Not quite as much damage as I would have liked, but at least you landed hits. You detach so that we can control the Sazanami on its own. Don't expect those to hit, but we can try. The reality is we're going to lose a shit ton of destroyers for a dreadnought and a few enemy destroyers. But we'll take what we can get. Oh, you already fired your torpedoes, never mind. Let's get Carrier Division 1 in on this action. Especially since the Murmansk is a bit wounded. Oh, you say the experience level of pilots, elite, good, fair, poor, but what the hell does V mean? Because none of those start with a V. And let's get another strike going with the second. Carrier Division. Ready, go for the Murmansk. Launch strike, don't bother coordinating it. Where is the Azuma? Here it is. Actually not quite as badly damaged as I would have liked. Or, well, not as I would have liked, but not quite as badly damaged as I thought. So maybe we should actually try to have it turn up and see if it can do a bit more damage. the hell are you doing? Oh, you're still fucking jammed. What are you doing? Go link up with the light cruisers or something. We are claiming 2 bomb hits on the Murmansk. That'd be a very big deal if true. I don't know what the hell some of these torpedo bombers are doing out here. Get a little bit closer. Are you still? No, you're not. Okay. Try to actually make it to port now. Where is the Azuma? There it is. It's limping along, trying to get up here to lend a bit of a hand. I don't know what it is, but something over there took a torpedo hit. We claimed a bomb hit on a CL out there, which I don't know why it's way out there, but in that case, it is not a CL. It would be a destroyer. I mean, I understand that these are relatively big destroyers, 1,400 tons or so. We're landing some hits on the Murmansk, but not a whole lot. Tsushima still has some torpedoes. Oh, there we go, dead in the water. Fortunately, I don't think you have a arc anymore. Nope. But you do. Turn some more. Because I know you still have more torpedoes. You fired from a tube that had nothing in it. Okay, Murmansk is dead, as far as we're concerned. We're going to go in and have the rest of the fleet try to sail up here and figure out what the hell's going on up here that we're trying to attack. Let's also have the Hosho, I think, head out that way. You sailed right past the port, buddy. And you really should be rushing to try to get into port. You stop popping smoke. You guys stop shooting. Save your ammo. The Romantic is dead in the water. There's no point in wasting your ammo. Sure. I don't know why you're... Oh, engine problems, of course. Pretty sure that's nothing. We're just going to keep sailing up here because we know there's something up here. Because our guys were trying to hit it, whatever it is. Maybe you guys should turn north. Yep. Go ahead and launch some scouts. Try to see what we can find out here. Okay, it is reportedly way out here, actually, now. I don't fault them for that. Don't think we did any damage. Nope. Do not have the scout mark. Ooh, that is... I mean, that's a lot of destroyers for the Zuiho as its escort. But it's reportedly, like, right out here. Fortunately, I don't think we're quite fast enough to be able to catch up, or if we are, it's, like, just barely. It's going to take a little bit until we actually find them. This is presumably the actual CVs, which, surprisingly, they haven't done a whole hell of a lot with. Spotted something. Don't know what. But it's something, and that means it must die. There's only the one something. But we claim it's a CV. Okay, two somethings. Okay, it's a CVL. That's kind of whatever, but... I'll take a CVL and a destroyer escort. This guy probably got separated from the rest of the fleet, who probably is to the north. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable bet. You know what? What we should probably do is this. You guys, ready a strike. Carrier Division 1. Nope, that's our guys down here. Let's go for... Up here, ready a strike. Oops, auto strike, ready strike. We're going to have the CA, I think, turn north because it's kind of a waste for it to go after a CVL, honestly. Well, a CVL and a destroyer. A CL can take care of that without any major issues. Okay, turn off your hold fire. CVL is on fire. Wonderful, ready. Okay, we're claiming up there. Okay, select ready, launch. You know what? Yeah, screw it, coordinate. I don't care. Do it. Nope, that's again our guys down here. You guys select ready, launch. Yep, that's fine with me. I realize you guys will have considerable losses, blah blah blah. We'll survive. I'd actually prefer for you to prioritize the destroyer if you don't mind. Especially because I don't think it's taken enough damage. So if it decides to stop escorting the CVL, it actually has a halfway decent chance of escaping. No, what are you doing? Go to port. Don't know why you're firing armor piercing at a destroyer, considering that destroyers have 0 armor piercing, or, excuse me, 0 armor. Kind of seems like a waste. Unless that's all you got left, then I'll forgive you. No, you have high explosive, you're just, for some reason, not firing at a destroyer. I do not understand the logic here. You hold your fire, no point wasting it anymore on that CVL. We've launched a whole bunch of aircraft up here. Maybe somebody will spot something. If not, we'll survive. We at least sunk 1 CVL into Dreadnought, though we took a fair few destroyer losses in exchange, which I'm not too big on. Nope, they are in fact out here. And I have a shit ton of stuff attempting to make attacks on them, not super successfully. Oop. 2 bomb hits on a reported Dreadnought. Probably not actually a Dreadnought, it's probably a CV. A couple bomb hits on a destroyer. There we go. Bomb hit on a CVL and a bomb hit on a CV. Might actually even be the same. Well, no, it's probably not the same thing, because otherwise this would also report as a CVL, or this would also report as a CV, one of the two. There's no way that the game would actually do it like this, where one person claims it's a CVL and one person claims it's a CV. Nope. So those are, in fact, 2 different vessels. And then a destroyer, which, you know, the destroyer's whatever. Another bomb hit on a destroyer. Enemy aircraft coming for Carrier Division 2. It is a 2 dive bombers. That's not going to go particularly great for you. Yep, and it looks like they all got shot down. Okay, we did not lose the destroyer, it's dead in the water, so let's turn everybody up here towards the coastline of Hokkaido. The Russians have apparently decided they're going to attempt a naval invasion, or at least that's really the only way I can describe it. The Akashi is really not able to keep up with the Hosho anymore for some reason, so we're just going to tell it to... Well, actually, I shouldn't be surprised. The Hoshos are quite a bit faster by 4 knots. So, yeah, you're not going to be escorting it anymore. Instead, you're going to break off and, I guess, join up with the Azuma and attempting to thwart the Russian invasion of Hokkaido, where they're just kind of going to beach themselves on the coastline or something. Not fully certain as to what their plan is. And there's night coming. Okay, we're probably not going to be able to get up there and try to shoot at them with our guns. Although we'll see. I kind of estimated that time would tick a little bit faster, but actually we might be able to get up here. If they're still here, we might be able to get a couple of shots in. Probably not sink anything, but maybe get a couple of shots in. Now, I wish we were a bit faster. Because we're going to lose these guys on radar. But we were not too far away from them. So we sunk a dreadnought and a CVL and a few destroyers. Realistically, I think this could have gone much better for us, generally speaking, but it's good enough. Let's see. And okay, it was in fact the actual Murmansk. I kind of thought it might have been because I think they only had one of these classes, but I didn't pay attention because I didn't really care. Oh, sorry about that. Water went down the wrong pipe. Let's see. Yeah, this CVL did not have a great time. I guess it makes sense to only have one fire control on a CVL. Because it shouldn't really be getting into any fights. Here we go. Here's the Baku. This is presumably one of their newer-ish designs. It took 2 bomb hits, only 500-pound bombs. So, could have done quite a bit more damage, actually. If those were 1,000-pound bombs, that would have hurt. Light damage to another CVL. This one took a 500-pound bomb. 500-pound bombs do not do a whole hell of a lot of damage. They really don't. Let's see. Another Russian CVL. Am I missing something? They had 3 CVLs in total. Okay. So there's the 3 CVLs. And the 1 CV. Okay, and then air details. It's actually a bit overkill. Let's just look at this. They lost... well, let's... operational losses. Operational losses? No, I don't think the operational losses is what I want. Screw it. We'll just look at total losses. Or actually, no. Air-to-air losses and lost to AA fire. They lost 11 torpedo bombers in total there. 6 dive bombers. Well, let's just look at total, actually, really here. So they lost a total of 25 aircraft. Across losses to AA fire and air-to-air losses, most of which were air-to-air losses. We actually did pretty decent there. I'm a little surprised we took as much damage as we did for our aircraft, though, honestly. Although overall, I think they did, yeah, overall they were much worse off there, but it doesn't help that you lost an entire CVL. So that's going to be a fair few aircraft. 10,000 VP for that. Thank you very much. Sure, Battle of Tsugaru Strait. Latest army offensive was halted by the enemy after a 200-yard advance despite several waves of attack. Enemy gains 100 VP. New docks completed. That saves us quite a bit of money. Although we might blow that immediately. Oh, we don't have enough ships on foreign station, eh? I don't know who I can send on that, though. Unfortunately. Speaking of, that means I need to build some actual foreign station ships, because we have not actually designed one of those in forever. Is about the best way to describe it. So, 1,500 tons. You guys don't need that many guns, realistically. Also, I think it's like 130 rounds before the game's... when the game stops complaining, yeah. Local fire control. You don't need secondary guns. You don't really need AA either. Sure, you can have that stuff too, I guess. You don't need armor. It's a difference of 1 for the monthly cost. I will give you minesweeping gear as well, because why not? Hey, you can have a little bit of minesweeping capabilities. Are you great at it? No, but that's not the point. So, new foreign station ship. It's actually a bit overkill, realistically. I don't think you need 4 guns, but I'll give you 4 guns anyway. Do I want mine? No, I won't give you minesweeping gear. Okay, 1 month for that, but now I need to find somebody to take over the foreign station job for just a tad bit. And by for a tad bit, I mean for a little while. So, foreign station you guys, because you're old. Foreign station those, because they're old. Foreign station you, and okay, that's fine now. How about actually you guys go back to trade protection and, oh, it's partly because this guy is in dry dock for a turn. So I shouldn't need you guys on that for too long. But either way, I need to get more of those guys out because it is causing some issues, evidently. Let's see, what do they estimate here? Oh, we actually finally managed to get our high intel finally on the Russians. Wonderful. Game, I realized we don't have a fleet in Southeast Asia, so you're kind of... oh no, I think you're complaining because of the foreign station, right? Yeah, it's because of the foreign station, isn't it? Yes, it is. Cruiser action, they say no. Cruiser action down here, they say no. Small engagement, I'll say no, because that's closer to your territory than it is mine, and I don't want to fight you near your stuff. Here we go. The enemy has sent out feelers through neutral nations about a negotiated well, without border changes or reparations. Screw you. There we go. That's more like it. A peace is concluded with our side gaining large territories and considerable war reparations. So that is 6. Now, we could take Tunisia if we wanted to have a foothold in the Mediterranean. I think that is an absolutely stupid idea as Japan, so we're not doing it. We could take Kamchatka if we wanted to. Again, I think that's a stupid idea personally because it means now we need to defend the Northern Pacific, and I just legitimately do not care for it in the slightest. And the only person we'd ever fight in the Northern Pacific would be the U.S., which, I mean, maybe we'll get into a fight with the U.S. at some point. I'll admit the U.S. doesn't really have anything I want, but, you know, just for history's sake, it might be kind of nice. But yeah, no, I legitimately just don't care for Kamchatka. It has 0 use to me as Russia, or excuse me, as Japan. If I was Russia, sure, I'd want to keep it, because, you know, why not? It's technically our territory. And by technically, I mean it is our territory. But I do not care for it as Japan. So we're just going to go ahead and take the maximum amount of war reps we can of 6 value, whatever that equates to. We are at a yearly budget of 932,640. Basically, they halved our budget, which is a shame because I do need to go and build some more of these foreign station things now, and I don't quite have the money for it as much as I would have if the war was still ongoing, but we'll survive. They're not that expensive. I'm just going to say fuck it and go ham and build up 12 of them, because then it's not an issue anymore now, is it? The Kinugasa, we are not going to build that right now. Okay, now we need to figure out a way to save the budget. Obvious things are to reserve aircraft, but that's only about 2,000, which, I mean, is quite a bit, but still. You guys go into active fleet. We are fine again on foreign station after doing that. Just to make sure. What the hell are you? I don't even know what you are. You're just some random Corvette that I don't even fucking... I'm just gonna scrap you, because I don't know what the hell you're supposed to be. If I'm being honest, I legitimately had no idea what the hell that was supposed to be. I do need to put somebody on foreign station for just a few turns till we have... I say a few turns. It's 18 months, so it's quite a while. We're gonna go ahead and just gonna lightly spy on everybody. You know, just a little. Let's halt construction of all those. That frees up a fair bit of budget. We are going to, I think, reserve fleet the aircraft. Actually, really, we're probably just going to reserve fleet basically the entire fleet. That frees up a lot of budget. Resume construction of these, and we'll just pause them one at a time until we are positive on cash flow again. There we go. Let's wait a turn, because that'll be the last of our submarine hunters, the 1939 designs. So that's a bit more money for us. Quadruple light AA mounts, which means in theory I could refit our stuff to give them a bit more light AA if we wanted to. Skip bombing increases the effectiveness of level bombing and anti-shipping attacks. No, don't do that yet. Our expansion in Burma is completed. We have a total base capacity of 40 now in the Indian Ocean. Oh, here we go. The Navy Statistical Department has compiled a study of enemy aircraft losses during the recent war. 38 enemy aircraft shot down, 47% by fighters, 24% by other aircraft, 18% by heavy AA, 5% by medium AA, and 5% by light AA, which to me is kind of implying that light AA now is not quite as effective as it once was, which, I mean, isn't surprising, but it does mean that maybe we don't really need light AA as much. Outside of, just kind of filling in free topside space, basically. And obviously 0% shot down by SAMs. Technically, our guys don't even know what the hell a SAM is because they don't even know what a missile is. Okay, we're going to go and let this part run a bit long. I set my timer for 45 minutes, but we're going to try to wait until the Katori's out. U.S. government is offering to sell us improved surface search radar. Hell yes. And early air search radar. Wonderful. And Nakajima has a brand new naval patrol aircraft. Better range. Or, excuse me, better speed. Better range. Beyond that is basically the same. But that's still a yes for me. Dalmatia, no. Unless I'm completely misremembering. We double check where this is, but I don't believe it's an area I care about. Isn't that the, yeah, Croatia. Why the fuck would we be attempting to go to Croatia? Screw that. We should not enter on such an adventurous course of action. Spain takes it. That's fine with me. Spain can have it. I don't want it. Spain and Italy can duke it out for all I care. I can easily take Spain's territories in Asia. I'm still annoyed we never got to take the Philippines. Because even though it doesn't actually benefit us in any way right now, it literally serves no purpose. It is still annoying because it is a 100 base capacity colony, or, well, possession, rather, which is, very useful for ensuring that other people aren't able to get into Asia. Is really the only reason why I want to take it at this point. In the past, it would have been useful when it came to, like, invading the French possessions in Vietnam and whatnot. But we kind of were able to not need to worry about that because we beat the crap out of China early on and took a lot of their stuff, which opened up those exact same pathways for us. Katori's been commissioned. 2 more ships finished working up. What's this? A new cruiser from Russia has just arrived on a goodwill visit, and the press is reporting all of its advanced features. Let's double check that. Russia advanced features? Oh, what's that? Their technological development is behind. I think you're confused, game. But if this is the best they can come up with, we have nothing to fear from Russia. I mean, we literally just beat the shit out of them again, so... yeah, I don't think we got to worry about them so much. Let's see, new torpedo bombers. Let's see, 30 knots faster speed, 8 knots faster cruising speed, but we lose the range. Well, actually, okay, you guys are making me actually need to make a choice here. Do I want faster or do I want more range? Should be noted, these use the medium range for dropping torpedoes instead of the heavy range of our current ones, so we can't just compare by the row. We have to actually go across, which means for the absolute best range over our current ones, we have to go with the Mitsubishi XTB90, which is not quite as fast as Kyushu's prototype, but it's only 4 knots, so it's not too big. and it's only 2 knots for cruising speed, but that is a decent range improvement. And again, reminder, uses medium range now instead of heavy. So that's always nice. Let's see. It's Jesus, the maneuverability tanks. It's got a bit more firepower, but that's not super useful really, and it's a bit tougher as well. I don't think this is that big of an improvement realistically, but I'm kind of inclined to say screw it. We'll take it because it is still better. It's just, it's not quite as good as it could be. Kawanishi, in exchange, says, we got a brand new dive bomber for you. How do you like that? 20 knots faster max speed, 10 knots faster cruising speed. That is a lot more range. Holy shit. Jesus. That is a lot more range. It's what, like 80 nautical miles on the light range? About 40 on the heavy, and it's got a, oh, here we go, larger bomb loads. 300 pounds, 600 pounds, and 1,400 compared to 250, 500, and 1,000. So we would have done a bit more damage now with these dive bombers against those Russian CVs. Not much. It's only 100 pounds. It's not that much more explosive mass, realistically, but hey, it's something. And, you know, if they used their heavy bombs, it would have just absolutely destroyed them. New British torpedo bomber, faster than our fastest. Or at least it's rumored to be. New French medium bomber, heavier bomb load than ours. Yes, because it is a frickin' 2,000-pound bomb that it's carrying on the medium. Also, looking at... Oh, never mind. Yeah, okay, never mind. I was about to say, this is weird that it's... The heavy bomb load is lower, but it's not. I completely skipped over the fact that it's 2 bombs instead of just the 1. What was the other thing? Was it a torpedo bomber? I think it was a torpedo bomber. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's faster. It's the Hind B. It's an upgrade to their previous model. It's only 5 nautical miles better, though. You know, you act like it's significant. It really isn't. And the range is not that much better. Well, actually, excuse me, the range is actually worse. Let's see, dive bombers. What do we got here? We look to be the fastest of the bunch, and we have the most range. Okay, our dive bombers are, like, really freaking good. Kawanishi, if you can pump out yet another improvement. Well, I guess you already just gave me an improvement, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see, who's got the fastest fighter? The U.S. does by 13 nautical miles, or excuse me, 13 knots. But they don't have the range. We have the range by quite a bit. Firepower is sort of even across the board. They're a bit more maneuverable, so that's weird. But I'll take it, I guess. Or, you know, I'll let you take that game. We have absolutely zero intel on float plane scouts, which is just bizarre to me. Naval patrol aircraft. America's faster than us by 10 knots. We have the best range. Holy shit, I wasn't paying attention before. We're actually on the E model for Nakajima's Siren naval patrol aircraft. Now, the range... When did this design first come out? I have to ask, game. You've got me curious now. For when that first came out. That is 1937. And it is 1941. And this is mostly because you guys have managed to somehow pump out an upgrade every year without missing a beat. 1937 it enters service. 1938 we get the first upgrade. 1939 we get the next. 40, and then now 41. That is surprising. Absolutely surprising. Okay, let's see. What do I want to potentially replace? So we're already replacing the torpedo bomber. Let's sort by year. The next oldest thing would be the medium bombers. So, medium bombers. What are we lacking in that regard? We're not the fastest. We've got a fair bit of range, but the French do outrange us with heavier bomb loads. I'm thinking we're going to go and take a medium bomber with range and speed. I still generally care for range a lot more than I do for speed. And hopefully you guys will manage to find a way to slap a 2,000-pound bomb on there as a medium bomb load. I don't care how you do it, just figure it out. You know what, I'll let the part run a bit longer again. Let's get one of those Mutsukis out. After a naval visit by the USA, you are asked by a journalist to comment on visiting ships. We're not going to insult the Americans. We are happy to have hosted the fine ships with their friendly crews. New Italian fighter, faster than our fastest fighter. Actually, you know what? Realistically, we got upgrades to do now. Go. What do I do with Yuga? The reality is, I don't care so much for the Tsukubas. They're not that great. They're not bad. But they're not great either. Is it worth upgrading? Well, I guess it technically is, but you guys would have to replace machinery to have any hopes of being able to do a decent, or fitting a decent amount of stuff on you. Which does increase your weight by a fair bit. Or, excuse me, the rebuild cost by a fair bit. Can I make you 28? I can. Can I make you 29? I can't. You max out at 28. That's fine. Do we give you more rounds? Do we stick with 100 or do we try to go a bit higher? It does make you a fair bit more expensive, and the reality is I think 100 is okay for you guys, especially since we have advanced director. It's not like we're needing to just kind of lob as many shells as we can in terms of, you know, like weight at the enemy. We actually have a pretty good chance of hitting nowadays. So I think we're going to go ahead and do this. This is a pricey rebuild, and it's going to take a little over a year. But I think in the end, it's going to be very helpful for us. Submarines finished. Forward firing ASW. Well on our way to understanding fleet train. Russian medium bomber. Heavier bomb load than ours. I don't really care. Actually, I could just pause the Ikitsushima. You want me to build at least 20 more submarines? Sure. You're going to have to give me a fair bit of budget to actually make that possible, but I'll gladly do it. Actually, can I upgrade you guys? We can. Let's go ahead and get all these guys upgraded as far as we can. Because the more aircraft we're launching, the more effective they are. Actually, do I need all those down here? Well, let's see. Hong Kong's basically covering this region. And Haiphong keeps an eye on Hainan. Camera Bay keeps focus over here. You are covering Singapore. I don't... Surabaya, or Baja, however it's pronounced, I don't think it's doing a whole hell of a lot, but it's got its uses technically. I guess this is fine. Do I need Pusan? Since I have Sasebo? And I'm pretty sure Sasebo is a naval air station, which is cheaper than a air base. I mean, I don't think it's by a ton, realistically. Also, they're being built right now, so they're the same cost no matter what. But I'm pretty sure naval air stations have an inherent little thing on them that makes them just a tad bit cheaper than an air base. I'm thinking we don't really benefit too much from the airbase in Busan, considering we have Sasebo. I think I'm going to actually say, let's get rid of Busan's airbase. Here we go, Busan. Scrap that airbase. And yes, get rid of the aircraft there. Let's do one more turn, finish off that destroyer. Well, I'm pretty sure there's literally another destroyer that's one turn out, so that's not a great metric of doing anything. Ooh, okay, game. Now, the thing is, we don't have the ability to actually get another alliance. If I recall correctly, you max out at 2. If I could choose to drop Italy in exchange for getting, like, Germany, I would gladly do it. Because Germany is a much better ally. Not just in terms of the number of ships they have. You know, fleet tonnage. I mean, it's twice Italy's. It's twice ours. With a similar budget, actually. Actually, they got less of a budget than us, even. But nonetheless, it's not so much because of the fact that they've got a larger fleet than Italy. It's just because for the people I would like to fight, which are like France, Britain, and Germany, or excuse me, and Russia, Germany has much more potential to be able to assist us compared to Italy. Germany checks all 3. Italy realistically gets 2. Britain and France, because Britain has a small presence in the Mediterranean, partly because of Egypt. I mean, technically Russia has a presence. They own Tunisia as a reminder, but I don't really consider Tunisia to be worth mentioning when it comes to saying that Russia has a presence in the Mediterranean, so we're kind of going to ignore that. So, between somebody who checks all 3 boxes and somebody who only checks 2 out of 3 boxes, and I mean, sure, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but when I have the option to get 3 out of 3, I'm going to take 3 out of 3 given the chance. But all these options are not great enough for me, realistically. Well, we could just kind of piss everybody off and say, if you want peace, arm for war. Actually, I'm inclined to just say, fuck it, let's go for that. We're going to do it. We're going to piss everybody off. And we need more fleet tonnage now. Or, excuse me, foreign station now. So, okie dokie. Put the minesweepers on foreign station. We've still got 10 more turns until those guys are done. Oh, Burton. Wow, it's a bit early to be giving independence, isn't it? I could have sworn that didn't really become a thing until like after 1945. Evidently, I was incorrect. Okay, there we go. That's a bit more money. How large is our CA fleet again? We have 3. We have 5. We have 5. Do we try to build a few more Ikitsushimas? Or do we try to squeeze in a Kinugasa? How about we do 1 Kinugasa and 2 Ikitsushimas, huh? I think that works. Oh, Italy broke their agreement with us. That's fine. I could have... If you give me now the event to try to negotiate an agreement with somebody, I'll do Germany, but a bit late for that. Let's go ahead and queue up, I think, another Kinugasa. 1 more turn. Let's just get these quick Mitsukis out. A scandal involving some important dignitaries from the U.S. No, we'll hush it up. I don't care to piss off the U.S. Oh yes, you guys want me to build more CVs. You want 17? I will give you... the 17 you are requesting. Oil discovered in Iceland. Better invasion capabilities, not that that matters. New medium bomber. I am immediately loving that Kawanishi. A lot faster, a lot more range. A lot more range. The other 2 actually are just straight up worse in terms of range. Better firepower, more maneuverable, bit tougher, larger bomb loads. Yeah. Screw it. We're taking the Kawanishi. Thank you very much. Kawanishi continues to make me love them, is probably about the best way to describe it. Let's get rid of some of these very unreliable submarines. The Nataka needs to go in for a rebuild, but I think that one's going to require a bit more of an extensive rebuild than I care to try to design right now, considering I'm trying to end the part now. Yep, we got 4 months until the next ship is done, so we're just going to... So we're going to go ahead and end the part here. I will see you all next time, where we will be... well, actually, the next part might be another design study thing, because I had already sort of started looking at that. Figured we'll do it when the war ends, or roughly a decade after the last time we did it, whichever sort of roughly happened first. Looks like war ended first. So we're going to go ahead and I think do that. So next part is probably going to be another design study. Admittedly, I realize there's a bit of an issue of those come out not quite in a time frame where you guys can provide much in the way of actual input. Um, Maybe if the Discord server was more active, I would maybe, excuse me, post the studies there basically instead of doing a video, and then you all can chime in. But the Discord server is not super active, so we don't do that. I just don't really bother doing it. It's there as a method of communication, and it's generally where I tend to post stuff if there's going to be, things happening on the channel. So, if you want to join it, link in the description. But yeah, I realize that those videos aren't necessarily coming out in a fashion that enables much in the way of input from you all. At least when it comes to those designs, but they can be useful for future designs. You can provide input and be like, hey, maybe don't put, that many 5-inch guns on a light cruiser because you don't need to do like an Atlanta class cruiser type thing, which admittedly is one of the potential CL designs that I've had. I say potential. It's the one CL design study I did. I didn't design multiple different potential ones because I don't really feel like having a need for it. But I'll see y'all next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell.